Cool, we're going. Hey, what's up, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, even, if this is when you're watching this video. For Analytical Algebra 2, I thought it'd be good to get into some word problems. They're still about linear equations, still y equals mx plus b, and even a little bit, if we're going to see some standard form stuff, ax plus by equals c. So today should be Thursday if you're A group, or Friday if you're B group. One way or another, we're going to jump right into this and set it up. Should be pretty easy. I'm going to go through one example on the front, one example on the back, and leave the rest to you because we should have done this in class the last time that you were here. So without further ado, really what the point of this is, we're not going to do a lot with word problems here in our Analytical Algebra 2. But what I'm trying to do is just get you back into, hey, there are math problems that have words. So let's read it, analyze it, and pull the important stuff out. So that bell lasts longer than I thought. So as we look into this, pulling out the important information. For those of you who want to know, this should be linear equation word problems day 2. This is number 1, so it's the first problem on the front. All right, and it says Chit Chat Wireless charges 30 cents per minute plus a monthly base fee. Now, normally we might read through the whole thing and start pulling stuff out, but me, I like to pull stuff out as we go. So I'm going to use my highlighter. That's important. 30 seconds a minute. That's important because it's a rate. Remember, part of what we do in the linear equation stuff is a rate. Slope is a rate. So this is going to be important to pull out. They also have a monthly base fee. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight that, plus a monthly base fee, whatever that base fee would be, that could be our B. I'm going to continue looking on. In September, Maggie used 120 minutes and her bill was $51. Write and solve an equation to find the cost if Maggie uses 165 minutes in October. So we need to pull out the important information, kind of write a general formula. And that's the easiest part. So all I need to do is say, well, the cost, and we're going to change things up. I know we'd love to use y equals mx plus b, but let's not. Let's change it up because we're talking about cost for this one. So let's use c. C is our cost, is equal to, remember that rate, mx. Mx is the rate, right? Well, what's our rate? 30 cents a minute. So let's do, I'm going to put this in parentheses, 0.3, right? X per minute. So that way we don't get confused. 30 cents being 30.3 of 1 times a minute. We don't know what the base fee is yet, so we have to solve for that. So we're going to say, let's just use, let's differentiate. Let's use F for fee. This is the base fee. I know it's weird. It looks a lot like that plus sign. So our equation should look like C is equal to, or cost is equal to, $0.3 per minute, or X, because that's our variable, plus the base fee. Now we need to solve for the base fee first. So we're going to use our information from September. They tell us she used 120 minutes, her cost was 51. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to fill in the numbers where they go. So we know that cost equals, I'm going to do this over here, cost is equal to our rate, 0.3, times the number of minutes, right? And she used 120 minutes, so 120 goes in for X, so 120. We don't know what that base fee is yet, so we have to solve for the base fee first. So F, and they tell us that her cost was 51. All right? So far, our steps, just to reiterate, we pulled the important information out and we formulated a general blank formula that looks like y equals mx plus b, right? Now we take a specific example and we plug it into what we know. Well, we know how much it costs her, and we know how many minutes there are. Now we need to know how much her bill will be if she uses 165 minutes in the next month. So we need to know what that base fee is down at the end. Well, this is simple algebraic solving. We've kind of done stuff like this before. I need to get f by itself, right? So to do that, we're going to start by actually multiplying this out. Let's simplify. So I'm going to have 51 is equal to, and I haven't done this yet because I'm going to do it on my handy-dandy calculator, 0.3 times 120 comes out to be 36. So 36 here. Now it's simple, isn't it? It's really now just a one-step equation. We just have to get that 36 over to here, and to do that, we subtract, since that 36 is positive. So minus 36, and we're finding that that base fee is going to be about $15. I can even see that just from here. So $15 is our base fee. I'm going to underline that because that's really important. We're going to come back to it. Now remember what they want us to find. We're not done yet because they want us to write and solve an equation, find the cost, if Maggie uses 165 minutes in October. So I'm going to switch up colors. Now we're going to rewrite our equation, but we're going to fill in what we know in terms of this base fee and how many minutes she uses. We don't know what the cost is, so that's what we're looking for. So our cost is equal to that minute fee, so 0.3 times however many minutes used, 165. And now we know that the base fee is $15. Simple enough, right? All we have to do is simplify this multiplication. And let's see, 0.3 times 165. That's coming out to 49.5. Can you see that? Ooh, beautiful. 49.5. So $49.50 plus $15. Add those up. Total cost is $64.50. And if we want, we can even put that zero right there. So it's going to cost her $64.50 in October. Remember this? Hopefully you will from what we did in class. Perfect. So let's move on to the back. Suppose that we have 2 points, and this is going to be important. Let's see, I got to make this bigger. I made the first one bigger. I haven't made the big one, the second one. So this is number 6 on the back. Whoops. And we're going to do the same exact process. We're going to read through it, pull out the important information, and we're going to formulate and go from there. So let me start out with this. To serve one person at a local restaurant, it takes 10 minutes. To serve 5 people, it takes 18 minutes. Write and solve an equation to find the number of minutes it will take to serve a party of 8. All right, so it takes to serve one person 10 minutes. Kind of connect these. To serve 5 people, 18 minutes. Now, for those of you who may remember, we have a formula for slope, and that is going to be so important here. Remember that our formula for slope is the difference in the y's, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, where does this come from? It comes from the 2 points that we have, and luckily we have 2 points. We have, we have the one person takes 10 minutes. To serve one person is 10 minutes. To serve 5 people takes 18. Now this is a function. Wherever it is, it's a function where however many people takes up more time. We'll talk about functions next week when we get into the next quarter of our semester. But for now, we're using this information as x's in terms of people, y in terms of time, to figure out what is the regular time period it takes for them to serve people. So we're going to apply it to here. Now let's assume that since this is the first point they gave us, this is point 1. So this is x1 and y1. There, by extension, this is x2 and y2. So now we just plug these into here, we're going to get our slope, right? So let's see. y2, 18, minus y1, which is 10. Then we divide that by x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 1. Now simplify. 18 minus 10, that's 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 8 divided by 4, that's 2. Right? This is our slope. Slope is the 2. Now here's the fun part. You're going to say to yourself, but Mr. Fager, what about our y-intercept? This is great, isn't it? Because we have to ask ourselves, well, what happens when we have no people? When you have x equals 0, because that's where the y-intercept is going to be. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be up or down. What happens when we have 0 people? Well, it doesn't take any time to serve 0 people, does it? So our slope might be 2. Our y-intercept is 0. So really, when we plug this into an equation, it's going to look something like this. Let me come over here, and I'm going to write here. Those bells really are longer. So y is equal to, remember what the slope is, it's 2, 2x, and then like I said, our y-intercept is just 0. So 2x plus 0, or y is equal to 2x. This is our equation. This is the formula we want to use in order to figure out what we need to figure out. And what is it we need to figure out? Write and solve an equation to find the number of minutes it will take to serve a party of 8. All right? Remember that process. We had to think about what it is we're trying to ask, or what it is we need to do. We need to write and solve an equation. To write the equation, we had to find slope. We found slope using our handy-dandy formula, which I will circle a dozen times. Make sure you write this down. It's so important. We got slope. We were able to write our equation. Now all we have to do is find out how long it takes to serve a party of 8. And all we have to do for that is, you guessed it, plug it in for x. So, in a different color, because blue and purple are going to mix way too well, I just take this, y equals 2, and I plug in 8 for x, and you all know what that comes out to, 16. It's going to take 16 minutes to serve 8 people. Fun word problems, right? Hopefully they're not too much of a problem for you. Remember, read them carefully, know what's being asked of you, but also think about what you have. Definitely highlight the information you have already. Okay? I'm going to let you get to it. We're done here for now. I'll see you guys later. And in the next e-learning, you won't even have a video. You'll just have something to do. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend, have a great day, whatever it is, whenever it is. See you guys next time.